Good morning. Hello, Herbert. Captain, probably, Erpaderp. That is one of my many, many true and real names. I don't want to cut too much plastic off this hatch. Otherwise, they'll have gaps in the armor. We can't have that. Don't fall in the hole. It actually looks like it doesn't have much. There's plenty to stop it from falling in. I figured it would sit in the hole, but it sits on the hole. Works for me. Gotta have Cobra King if you play the US in bolt action. I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that that's the law, and they're very strict with it. You think the sentence for murder is bad? You try playing bolt action in US bolt action force without Cobra King. Straight to double jail. Been one of those bad on-call weeks. 3 calls so far and bad weather approaches tomorrow night. Just tell it no. It'll listen. That's how the weather works. Now, will you fit? Much like a glove, as the youth say. In fact, it's so well it doesn't want to come out. Yeah. Excuse me. If you had control of the weather, you wouldn't need a job. Imagine how much money you could make from people wanting you to control the weather in the way they want, and what premiums you could charge. None of these settings are correct. Outrageous. There we go. Looks good enough. The youth of today are idiots. Okay, now because I was a youth once, you know, because you were a youth once and you was an idiot for sure. Yeah, that's true. That's how I know the youth are idiots too. I charge farmers $1,000 for a 20-minute soaking shower. Travel the country doing that. I mean, yeah, that seems like a good deal. You could pit farmers against each other to not rain on enemies' fields. That's how farmers work, right? They're all very competitive and consider each other enemies. I know how to farm. That's looking good. Maybe a touch more of the glue there. And then that's not where that goes. I found an almost empty bottle of SMS Extra Thin while cleaning up the other day. So I topped up this bottle. Now I don't need to do mental gymnastics to convince myself I need to spend money on models to get glue with free shipping. Can't tell if this has a nubbin on... It does have a nubbin on both sides. A good, appropriate nubbin, that is. Just had a lovely day, then I'm getting 3 days of snow, so if someone can turn that into rain, that would be cool. Well, isn't snow just like rain when it's extra cold? So it's rain-ish? I don't know what I'm talking about. What even is snow? Seems neat enough. Almost. Such triumphant music. PFB, pointy front bit, the technical term. Yeah, that's true. You gotta use simple terms though, or people don't get it. Did you accomplish any sick practical jokes? I did not. Mostly because I'd be playing them on myself. I did play the great April Fool's joke in my painting video, though. Boy, did people think that was a huge model. I got you all good. Ha 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 ha. Bothers you that Warlord Games decal sheets do not come with enough to do a full-on starter box with, so you need to order 3 more sheets. That is outrageous. Especially if they come with the starter force. What I think is outrageous relating to decals is how Battlefront stopped including them for Flames of War. That's outrageous. I'm no businessman, but it seems like a good idea to include decals in kits. Well, in kits that need them. I was kind of annoyed by the Rubicon Mule, yeah. I was kind of annoyed that that didn't include decals, but the box shows like text on the fuel tank and down the sides. That would have been interesting to add. All of these nubbins just seeking to ruin my day. I don't know if these are going to be terribly in the way, but I'm clipping them off anyway. They definitely don't look like guide nubbins of any kind. And I will not regret clipping them off. Nubbins, gather round the flag. We will attack. We are aiming at Herbert's day. Fucking bastards. Hey, trains are great. How you doing? Okay. Don't know which way up this should be. I do know this is the top. And this one probably goes this way. Or am I wrong? How could I possibly be wrong? The longer edge goes forward, so it's probably like that. And if I look in the instructions further ahead, there's something that mounts there and it's on the top. So this is the way it goes. Gotta video it, otherwise people won't believe me that I had to bend the plastic. Excuse me. I feel like that broke. Almost. I think the thing to do would be glue one of them onto the side bit, and let it bond for a bit.
Are you kidding?
Sure am not. Make sure there's plenty of Blue God Praise liquid. Make sure it stays together. That's pretty cool. There is something to say about, like, riveted chunks of metal. It just looks badass. But that's plastic, Herbert. I can't tell the difference. Like that. Except more better. Can't seem to hold it in such a way that doesn't impart too much force on the other end. Piss. Piss, goblin. I think I just discovered an error in my ways. There's meant to be the two bars going between those bits. I'm not sure how important they are, though, because there's nothing to join them. This is the one that was in the bottom of the box. Maybe I'll just add one. maybe that actually gives it more strength for pressing it together, but at this point I feel like it's kind of redundant. It will keep them at the correct distance apart, though. Remember, even a bar can become Employee of the Month. A inanimate carbon rod. That looks kind of like what we want. A nice pointy front for the Whippet. No real gaps. Didn't even need to clean up that bit. It should just plop on there. Doesn't say to do that just yet. It says to glue the side bits on first. But you know what? No one's gonna stop me from disobeying the instructions. I'm too rebellious. It says to put the little side flappy things on first, but I think really they just get in the way of holding that and applying pressure. We can't have that. Just a touch more. So side flappy things later. Well, pretty much now. Well, the next thing I do will be whatever they're called. I wouldn't really call them flappy things. They're like the ones at the rear. Bars that are probably... I'm probably lucky I haven't knocked out of place yet. They are on the A sprue. The only thing left on the A sprue. Difficult to find. Just make sure it's the only thing left on the sprue, which needs to be disposed of in the dustbin immediately. Immediately. The next step also involves several pew-pew sticks and an exhaust. One for each side. And I might as well do those at the same time as the sticks, side sticky outy bits. Okay, now we need these nuts. So many little bits and pieces on here. I'm very glad those didn't break. It would not have been difficult to do. I've got a series of these vent-looking things. They might be vents. Immediately, police will arrive. Fun fact. Later. Oh, man. Here's another one of those support things. That seems a bit weird. It's pretty big. I'm sure that got in the way in the packaging, which is why it broke. Surely that'll stay there and not fall. These go like that. Very nicely guided by the guide knobs. These do need a nubbin removed. Unfortunately. And it's not exactly easy to apply pressure to something this small without breaking it. The trick is, just don't break it. Helpful and useful advice from Herbert Erpaderp. See if I can follow my own advice. Actual advice is using a very sharp blade. This blade is fresh. Or relatively fresh. Good enough. Guess it's probably best to get the mold lines off the exhaust pipe. They're not welcome. They know they're not welcome. Yet they insist on appearing. pretty sure those nubbins are meant to be there. No idea what their function is, but probably something exhaust related. A fresh blade. You got up early and picked it before sunrise from a blade tree. I sure did. I got a blade tree out the back. Nothing quite like a fresh blade in the morning. It's probably more important to do a neat job on the top of the part. So I'm trying to pay a little extra care there. One nub to rule them all. One nub to bring them and the model box mess up Herbert's day. Not my day. I need that to be unmessed up. That one goes on that side. Oh, we've still got these to clean up. I think all we got to do is get the nubbin off the bottom. There is a slight line between these rivets. Gently scrape it off without ruining the rivets. If we ruin the rivets, they can't be counted, and that'll upset the rivet counters. Maybe I should just slice them all off. Rivet counters? Like Count Rivet? Exactly. I am Count Rivet. One rivet. And so forth. That's very good. I think that's everything. It's not everything. Damn it. I miscounted these things that I would need. Ass shits. Ass shits. Those are the worst shits.
Ha! I like your style. You make up your own rules, just like me.
Hey, thank you for the raid, Deathlight Coast. How you doing? What were you doing? I think I clipped these ones out a bit better. Still, it's dangerous to clean them up. Leveling in 14. That's how we say that. I hope you had fun. Let's call that good enough. They can be glued on now. I wonder if I do want to glue them on first or last. Let's put the big chunkier bits on first. That'll show them. Okay. Maybe I was incorrect about that one going on that side. Too much glue. Probably not too bad though. Almost went where that plate goes. Make sure we test fit. What else? What else? What else? These. One goes there. Again with the too much glue. Could be worse. It is extra thin, so it's not gonna build up a layer. It just looks bad when the model is reflecting light. You have to keep the idiots alive during dungeons. Well, I'm sure that's fun in its own way. As long as they're not too idioty. Which is a word now. What the fuck? Just maybe I should have applied too much glue there also. Maybe too much is never enough. That looks pretty decent. Probably not meant to bend upwards. Maybe I need some video of the other side so I can be all like, look at that. Both sides. If you use too much glue, does the glue god smite you? Quite the opposite. The glue god loves it when you use too much glue. More the merrier, says the glue god. If it's too much glue, you may call it caused by using this little shit in a fighting against some really bad guys. Trust me, damage. Surely we could lengthen that. That's a bit too short. Can I do this with my fingers? With my fat fingies. Not even entirely sure how these go on. Like that, I suspect. I'm hopeful that glue hasn't just evaporated. That looks pretty good. Do the same on the other side. Don't drop it. Hopefully, these aren't in a position that's easy to knock them off of or break them because they're really thin. Should be fine. Should. I was just about to say, and that's that step done, but that would be a lie. Gotta add the pew-pew sticks. No, I was gonna say, says K5, but I'm misreading it. Once both these parts, that one goes on the outside. The trick is to not break them. I am kind of wondering, though, if maybe adding the guns now is such a good idea. They're not that thin, actually. They should stand up to some gentle bumping. Just how much bumping will the following steps require? I could look at the instructions and find out. Or I could just guess. We don't need the ammo things. They're not belts, because I think they're rigid. We don't need them. Unless they get stuck on the outside. Okay, so the next steps after the guns go on are all track related. Until the very end. That's fine. That means there's much less chance of breaking the guns while we can fooble the rest of the thing. Guess is better than instructions, I guess. Maybe not. Don't you dare roll away. I'm convinced this song gets played multiple times a stream. I scroll up and look through the names, it'll tell me. Maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe I'm imagining it. Glorious gluing. That's the only kind I do. I assume. I'm gluing for the glue god. For the glory of the glue god. Okay, that's all for them. Maybe they can be put aside. Unless the ammo belts, straps, doodahs come later. I won't need that. Or as the Klingons say, glue for you and your house. I can't do the Gowron eyes. Don't have enough whites around them. Glory to you and your house. Gowron is awesome, by the way. Not entirely sure how far down the gun the mount goes. And the instructions just show a solid ball, so I don't know which way around this goes. But it looks more embiggened on this side. Looks like that's about the limit. Started season 5 of DS9. Episode 1 is where they think Galron is a changeling. Man, I should watch DS9 again. Hey, Stephen Haynes Models, how you doing? Okay, that seems good. So we do need to clean up the barrel, but the rest of the nubbins can remain in place. That's good enough. Don't roll away. You shit. You also have season 3 and 4 of Discovery at home. People like to shit on Discovery, but I quite like it. It's different, but it's not bad. Also, if there was no Discovery, there would be no Strange New Worlds, and Strange New Worlds is amazing. Especially the musical episode. In fact, I feel like maybe it's worth paying for a month of Paramount Plus just to watch Strange New Worlds again. I might do that while I'm working on my model railway. Probably tomorrow. "6 a.m.? That's too early. Thank you for dropping by, Alexander. I hope you have a good sleep." In fact, a lot of people hate that musical episode. Great, I guess I'll like it. It's funny. It's like, I mean, it's silly, but it acknowledges that in itself. I liked it. Not so much the music itself, because a lot of it just isn't in a style that I like. And I think the Klingons would play different music. But it was a good laugh. Plus the fact that it makes people angry is a bonus. I probably should re-watch Discovery because I can't remember a lot of it. That's not unusual though. I am a very forgetful man. Makes things enjoyable to re-watch at least. That's probably neat enough. Neat enough is good enough. Q angry ranting about how everything has to be perfect. I don't like how fragile these rings feel. Trying to avoid stabbing myself in the finger. Remember that Scrubs had a musical episode too. A sitcom isn't the same as sci-fi, but this music episode was different too. I liked it because they made up a story that one patient had brain damage and she heard anyone just singing. That's kind of like the Star Trek one. They made up a, I don't want to spoil it, but they just made up a in-universe excuse for why people were singing. I am a little disappointed it took them that long to make a musical episode. Really. So I guess technically there's been, you wouldn't call them musical episodes, but they've featured singing in Deep Space Nine at least. With I don't know if Vic Fontaine is in the earlier seasons. Cisco likes to sing. Just one moment. I need to respond to a message. If it works in universe, it's a good idea. I like such things. Me too. And who knows what space anomalies are out there? It could be perfectly realistic in the real world, but it doesn't have to be. As long as it's fun and entertaining. Now, do I glue the balls onto the gun first, or do I try to glue it all together as an assembly? Let's stick the balls on the guns first. Why not? I don't think it really matters too much. You filthy animal. Now I've got the hiccups. Am I doing it wrong? Again? It's quite possible. It's possible we want it that way. Or even possible it's more like that. I think that might be the way. And that little hole in there is for looking through. Is that a looking hole? Maybe there's a picture that will help. Don't you dare fall down. The Voyager probe has music on the golden disc, so if some alien civilization finds it, they might think that people of Earth were always singing. That might be... You never know what might happen. Those humans and their constant singing. Looking at that picture, I think I've put the thing on correctly. I hope if we ever meet aliens, we get the singing aliens and not the kill all humans aliens. Though I suspect by that time I will long be dead, so it won't matter. It's probably worth putting the glue on in from the back. Add some of that. Very ball. Probably don't need to film all four being inserted into the ball. We go. Four guns with balls. Balls of steel. I guess they don't really need to bond too long, because what's the worst that could possibly happen to them? I guess the worst that could happen is I could push the gun in while trying to apply pressure or something. I just won't do that. Easy. Easy peasy. I don't feel like it should be rotated like it is. Not much, but enough to look a bit odd. Should be vertical, I expect. That's pretty good. Pretty easy. And as they say, if you like it, you should put a ring on it. Ha 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 ha. That looks pretty decent. This song sounds just like the one that I whined about playing before. Maybe it's just very, very similar. Or it's the same song with a different name. No, it did play before also. I guess there's not that many options for pretzel in the epic category when YouTube is selected. Damn it, YouTube. Half the time they keep getting pinged anyway. Very annoying. Okay, so what I learned from the first one is to put the...
Peace.
Exactly. It's probably a good idea to put the ring on after the guns had a chance to bond for a bit, so that we don't knock it out of position. What if we want that gun pointing that way? Then we point it that way. Easy as that. Ass. Easy as ass. We point this one that way as well. Or that way-ish.
Balls.
Balls of steel. And iron. Yeah, now it looks like there's enemies in this direction somewhere. And the Whippet is using its anti-baddie sticks. Because using the word gun too much is probably going to flag something in YouTube. Gotta be creative. Leave that for a moment while I peruse the next step, which is wheels. Wheelie. That shouldn't be too hard. I was thinking maybe I could build one track holdy bit and then one set of tracks off stream. But I don't know what I think. It hurts. I'm going to start on the track things. I don't know how much I'll get done, but because it looks like there's quite a few bits, mostly road wheels. I don't need that just yet. Ass. Maybe it needs glue. That'll hold it in. No, that's completely the wrong way. Welcome back, trains are great. Very accurate name you have there. Don't know if that one's tilted a bit too much, but we're just going to leave it because it's already been bonding for like 65 hours. There we go. All the gun emplacements are in place. Emplaced, as you might say. Don't say ass too often. If you ass on and on, after ass comes another ass, and YouTube might think this channel is about ass and nothing but ass. You mean like donkeys? That's what we're all about. That's what I mean when I say ass. Okay, we start on the left running gear, according to the instructions. Actually, what time is it? I'll keep working for a little bit. Time is running out, as they say. This to start with, one of these. C3 PO. Got to clip a bit away from these really wide sprue gates because they tend to rip out excess plastic with them. But as is the 43M Zrinyi assault gun, and I've seen your other models. Not only the ass Zrinyi. Well, many things can be ass. It's a very useful word. I do appreciate these good long axles they've got on here. Don't appreciate that they've got little nubbins on the ends. That's a big nubbin I've left behind. Nothing I can't deal with my knife, though. Good old cutty boy. I guess that's what my knife is called. Oh, reliable. Some of those are a little rough, but we can just call that battle damage, which is short for that really long sentence Trekan said before. That's pretty decent. Took a bit more cleanup than I thought it would. Talking of ass makes me feel hungry, so I'm leaving. Streaming a game tonight? I might. I've removed the normal Tuesday night game thing from my schedule because I might not do it. But I do feel like playing some Supermarket Simulator. They've been pretty good about updating that. And there's some new things I'd like to look at. So I might play that maybe for an hour or two. Maybe. Usual Tuesday night game streaming time. Thank you for dropping by, Trekan. I hope you eat delicious food. I'm going to make return rollers. Or am I? Actually. Maybe now is a good time to... Because Trekan's leaving, I'm leaving. I have to go out soon anyway. Probably a good spot to leave it here, just so that I don't make a bunch of like return rollers and road wheels and stuff, and then have them all loose. Nobody wants that. Like I just said, I might be back again this evening. I'll come back with this, unless something comes up on Monday next week. Tomorrow night, I'm going to start on the Tacom Burger Panther that I did a What's in the Box video about a few weeks ago. Or months. I can't even remember. It looks like it's going to be a fun kit. Put a new video up yesterday. Go check it out. I don't know if there's a command for that. I think if I do vid, it just shows the link to this. Yeah, I need to think about that. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will be back either later tonight in probably like 10 hours. I can't count time. Or tomorrow night. Thank you for watching. Farewell.